This is Clint Meyer, and I'm a professor of biology at Simpson College in Indianola, Iowa. And so through many of the courses that I teach, we talk about issues of sustainability. And those are really coming to the forefront of a lot of aspects of biology. And so from a pollution perspective, from a exotic species perspective, from a climate change perspective, a lot of different things come into play when you're talking about energy. And so the way I see it is everything that we do now in terms of large-scale agriculture or heating our homes and everything in between is all based on cheap fossil fuels. And fossil fuels are only cheap because they are in big enough supply, and people seem to be in denial about the fact that they're not never-ending resources. So to me, it's the most important thing we can do is, before we get into crisis situations with the amount of our fossil fuels, we need to start planning for the infrastructure of using renewable sources. So things like wind energy and solar energy, which are in fact infinite. And then other things like biomass fuel of perennial crops, so that we're not continuing this annual agriculture and all of the losses of soil and pollution and nutrients and things that is causing. And so I think that somehow we need to make sure that people are no longer in denial about things like climate change, and that people really take a good hard look at what we're doing, and money is put toward the implementation and research behind things like clean energy, so that we can be able to use those things on a more efficient basis. And so I think part of my role as a professor of biology is to help make students aware of these things. And so we talk a lot about those things in classes, but not everybody's a biology major, so not everybody comes from that perspective. And I think the other challenge is to change the mind of the powers that be, that it's not, the most important thing should not be short-term financial considerations, which is why we use things like fossil fuels, because it's cheaper than some alternatives. The most important thing should not be those short-term economic considerations. It should be the long-term environmental things, because once those things are destroyed, there's no going back, and we can never get back to situations where we can completely undo the damage that we have done. And so I wholeheartedly support the use of these clean energy ideas, and I really hope that from the students that are students now can take that out and spread the message, and hopefully people in Washington will begin to understand that as well.